Hello, basketball coaches and basketball players and parents. Today I'm going to talk to you about my top 5 gifts that every basketball player absolutely loves. So, number 1 is basketballs. Basketballs are obviously very important in basketball. Why not, right? So, there's 3 types of basketballs that you can look into. So, there's composite, synthetic, and also rubber. So, composite and synthetic leathers. Composite is generally real leather. You're getting usually larger chunks of leather. They're forming it into one piece of leather, and then that makes the basketball. Meanwhile, with synthetic leather, those are like the Wilson Evolution balls. Those are like fake leather, both of which are really good. Then it goes down into indoor and outdoor basketballs. There's basketballs that are labeled indoor only, indoor, outdoor, and then outdoor. So the outdoor ones are generally the rubber ones there for outdoors. I personally don't like rubber basketballs. I just don't. But going from there, synthetic versus composite, I personally use composite basketballs myself. They feel better in my hand until it gets to a game. So how I like to look at it is if you want to become a really good basketball player, composite leather is going to feel more slippery, which is going to help you become a better basketball ball handler. So those are some of the basketballs that you might like instead of the synthetic. However, when it comes to a game, if you want to have the grip on the basketball and you just want to have grip in general on a basketball, synthetic leather seems to be the way to go. So that's kind of a breakdown on basketballs really quickly. That might be a great idea for a future video as well, so stay tuned for that. However, going from there, the next thing is basketball shoes. I did a video on that the other day. I will link that below as well. But there's so many different types of basketball shoes. There's basketball shoes that are geared towards guards only, forwards, centers, and I do a great breakdown on that in my basketball shoes Christmas gift video, so go check that out as well. Really quickly, any of the links that are below, if you want to grab a basketball, links are below. Anything else I talk about in this video are also below. This is not a sponsored video whatsoever. However, those Amazon links get me a commission. So if you want this channel to succeed, because I bring you basketball plays, drills, and skills, go click on those links anytime you purchase anything from Amazon, and it will support me. I usually get roughly around 4%. So that helps this channel become a full-time thing and stay a full-time thing. But going from there, our next gift idea is NBA jerseys. Personally, I love wearing jerseys when I'm playing basketball. Even though in all my videos you're seeing me wear sleeves and stuff like that, they just feel tight when I'm shooting. But that is something that happens when you get older, is you get sleeves, I guess. But I like the idea behind jerseys. You're not just saying, yo, look at me, I'm wearing, I almost said Iverson jersey. I had an Iverson jersey when I was a kid. But I had Iverson jerseys. I had lots of Vince Carter jerseys, Chris Bosh, Jose Calderon. All those guys, I had all their jerseys. Andrea Bargnani, I think I've got one of his jerseys as well. However, you're also supporting those players and your team. So that kind of just goes like where you're coming into the gym and you're like, yo, this is my team. If you are a Detroit Pistons fan and I'm a Raptors fan, I'm going to be hating on you and I'm going to be trash talking you because my team is better. But anyways, going from there, the next is heavy basketballs. Now, heavy basketballs are generally in rubber, and I know I told you earlier that I'm not a big fan of rubber basketballs, but when it comes to a heavy basketball, rubber is okay because you're not using it in a game. You're not using it for a ton of practice. What you're using a heavy basketball for is strength development. So with heavy, and I'm a huge supporter of heavy basketballs. If you haven't already seen that on this channel, I have a ridiculous amount of videos on heavy basketball training. With heavy basketballs, we usually double the weight or maybe 2.5 times the weight of a regular basketball. So it helps younger players as well as older players being able to shoot the basketball further. Also, staying close to the rim, shooting with your form. Form shooting is very, very important in basketball if you haven't already known. If you don't have great form, you're not going to be a great shooter. And the Raptors are taking a huge step in this way when it comes to form shooting. So there's a lot of great articles about what Nick Nurse is doing right now with the Toronto Raptors. He's doing hours upon hours upon hours of form shooting, just having players stand there at the rim, shooting their shots, or running up to the rim, catching the ball and taking their shot. Or I've even heard of some players on the team just standing at a wall for like an hour, just practicing their form. And look what it's doing. OG Anunoby is over a 50% shooter in most of his games this year, and I think he's averaging over 50% as well. Then there's Matt Thomas, who is averaging over 50%. We've got Davis the second, who's averaging, I think it's over 50%. We've got so many players shooting so well because of form shooting. This is something that I have been preaching ever since I became a basketball trainer 10 years ago. If you're not form shooting and practicing form shooting, you're not going to be one of the best shooters in the world, and I can back that up. Every single one of my players, I preach it to, and the ones who are actually listening to me are some of the top shooters in Canada. So jump on to that. But going from there, dumbbells are also very important. Dumbbells, no matter whether it's 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 25 pounds, 50 pounds, those links are down below. But with dumbbells, you're not just standing there doing some arm curls or sitting in a chair doing some tricep extensions. You can use those for that. That's totally fine. That's what I want you to do. Triceps and biceps are hugely important in basketball. But you can do squats by having it tight to your chest, getting an extra 10 pounds on your squat so that you can jump higher to get more rebounds, to be able to get more blocks, whatever it may be. That is very important as well. Anyways, these are my 5 gift ideas for basketball players. So go check out those links in the description below. I know your players, whether it be your kid, your players, if you're a coach, whatever it may be, I know your players are going to absolutely love these gifts. And so go check them out. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another Twice a Day basketball video.